It is time. We actually have news to talk about. It is amazing day. Oh yeah, it's like kind of like my little trademark right there because I have to wait for the Penei Sewell touchdown catch in that closeout of the Minnesota Vikings a little earlier. Hello everybody, welcome one, welcome all. It is NFC North Talk with your host Russell Wayne. That's me. What's going on? It is what, July the 20th, right here, 2023, and here we are in the middle of the off season, and it is fantastic. I want to thank everybody that's out there that is making us one of their listens every single day right here at 11 a.m. talking some football right here, talking some NFC North, but we're going to be talking a lot of Lions today because we actually made a move right here today. So what I'm going to do is I want to put a shout out to all these spots that we are broadcasting live right now, just so we can get that in there, right? So we are broadcasting live in the Detroit Lions news. Joe Chap, thank you for allowing us onto your platform and allowing us to reach Lions fans. And then our platform, please go give us a like and a follow. The Detroit Lions Villain Squad. We're taking over the North. We're pretty sure about that, and we want to be able to do that. Give us a like and a follow. Content 365 days a year. Bears fans, go follow Mike the Bear fan. Packer fans, go follow Bill the Packer fan. And that's not it. That's not it. In the background right here, we also have Biting Kneecaps, Detroit Lions styles with Smoking Jeremy B. How you doing this morning, brother?
Oh, I see we got a hater in there. Hello, Sydney McKell Ratty. I love it. Fantastic thing. Who the fuck is this bum? Evidently, you didn't watch college. When he was at Baylor, he was electric with a lesser QB than the bums he had at New York with the New York Jets.
Well, let's get into it. So we are out here right now. We got Michael is in there giving us some good morning. Calvin, good morning. Sydney, bring that thing, whatever. Thank you for watching, Sydney. That's, making us one of your listens, even if you just want to watch us up here being homers to our team. Hi, Tina.
He's a Bear fan. No wonder why he's delusional.
Hey, that's all right. We invite Bear fans on here too. Sydney says we ain't doing shit, right?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I don't either. So here we are. What do we have? What do we have today? There's actually news right here, and I'm sure that you can give me your tidbits on this trade right here, Jeremy B.
Seeing how we basically gave up less for him than we got for anybody we traded away, it's a great move. We gave up a conditional 6th round pick, which if he doesn't make the roster, doesn't play over 60% of the games this year, which is 9 games, people, we only give a 7th round pick this year in 2024 and a 7th round pick in 2025. Has he had issues? Yes. Has he had bum of quarterbacks? Let's see. He had a washed up Joe Flacco. He had a Sam Darnold, who's a good backup, but not a starting quarterback. He's had Zach Wilson, who's a diva mentality with a less than Flacco quarterback ability. And then Mike White, who is probably his best quarterback he had out of the 4. And that's not saying much.
So we have a little friend right there. So Denzel Mims, like what I want to say about this is
6'3". Oh God! 207 and a 4.38 40, and makes contested catches.
25 years old. He's battled injuries his whole career. These are just the notes that I took on him right here.
Right.
He puts on It puts him on a list right here. I mean, he was injured all last year, so it puts him right on the top of a Brad Holmes list as a project that we love to take those guys. 59th overall in 2021. And the first thing that comes to my mind here is, how dumb are the New York Jets? I picked the New York Jets to possibly be a Super Bowl contender like about 2 months ago, and they keep on doing dumb stuff. They're being JET. They're being typical Jets on this, because what do? You have a perfectly good young wide receiver core. You have Garrett Wilson, you got Denzel Mims, and you have Elijah Moore. So what do? You trade your speedy young wide receivers to bring in Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb,
who both have been injured this offseason already.
How dumb are you? You got 28-year-old Lazard and 31-year-old Randall Cobb, and you're trading away 23-year-old Elijah Moore and 25-year-old Denzel Mims.
But put it this way. That was the only way Randall Cobb was making the roster.
Okay.
Was trading them guys away.
Well, there you go. The Jets being the Jets, allowing Brad Holmes to just come in.
Karen Rodgers.
Hey, we will take the spoils of those riches. Now, Denzel Mims, yeah, we're not calling home, but it is 4.3 speed. And what are the Detroit Lions missing for the first 6 weeks? I think
not as much as you think.
Well, I think it's a nice, savvy move. This guy, because of his skill set, is going to be able to come in and compete for a job, because what did I say on yesterday's program is after Amon-Ra St. Brown, we have 3 number 3 wide receivers. So
Steve Van Ness, I agree with you, because he says, thank God. Oh, this must be main event Mike.
Let's see if we got main event Mike on the line right here, because I know he's chomping at the bit. Let me see if we can get him hooked into the Bluetooth. Main event Mike, are you on the line?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Jeremy.
So we have we're already into this talk right here about, I mean, we have news today, Mike. This is amazing. We've been going 3 weeks regurgitating the same quarterback talks and all these OTAs and all that stuff, but this is real news.
And Jahmyr Gibbs signed his contract.
It is news. Aaron Rodgers is all pissed off about Hard Knocks. Oh, that's not what. Oh, that's not the news.
No, but yes, he is.
I'm sorry. I thought that was.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Okay.
By the way, Steve Van Ness, yes, losing Cobb and Lazard for Green Bay. Guess what? You got better by subtraction in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, I mean, well, I want to hear what you got to say about this Denzel Mims trade. They gave nothing away for it, and you bring a wide receiver in. What do you think?
I think it's another example of Brad Holmes hedging his bets. I mean, the kid had an injury. He's only been in the league 2 years. He was a 2nd-round pick, and he had Zach Wilson throwing in the football. It's my quarterback. You take Zach Wilson and compound that with an injury, and he's only been in the league 2 years. He's a 2nd-round pick who, by the way, he set the FBS on fire his senior year at Baylor.
Yes.
It was highly doubted coming out of school. This is Brad Holmes taking a chance, hedging his bets again, whether it be a torn ACL with Hendon Hooker or Jameson Williams, or this kid because he had Zach Wilson and an injury in New York. I mean, he gave up very little, and the potential, the ceiling, and I know Jeremy Ballrick's probably already mentioned this, the potential for what this kid could be, this could be a steal.
And before anybody says, let's pump the brakes on Mims, remember, Khalif Raymond was strictly a kick returner when we got him, and they turned him into a wide receiver. So have some faith in Ben Johnson and Antoine Randall, everybody.
Well, I mean, I have faith in him, and I know that Mike has faith in him, but 75% of our fan base think that we're just grasping for straws right here, and we just brought in a guy. And I don't totally agree with that, but I think that he could come in and do and compete. I think that he can compete for that number 2 position right off of the bat.
I think at best he'll be our 4th best receiver on the roster. Because you got to look at what we got. Not I'm talking just while Jameson Williams is gone. If you go by speed down the list, you got 4.32 with Jahmyr Gibbs. You got 4.34 Khalif Raymond, 4.38 Denzel Mims.
So-
You've got 439. Even though he's a 7th round pick, he's still 439. Antoine Green. Then you got 442. Josh Reynolds. And then you got 405. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
So here we are right there. I mean, to say the very, very least, general manager Brad Holmes definitely values speed up in this mug. But what you did right there was mention a whole bunch of wide receivers that, like, I mean, that Mims can come in and compete with those guys. There's nobody that I'm lighting up that if I'm Mims, I'm not thinking I have an opportunity. And Jahmyr Gibbs isn't a I mean, he's our playmaking guy, but I'm just talking straight wide receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He could compete with Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, Marvin Jones, and jump those guys on the depth chart, in my opinion. What do you think, Mike?
I think with his youth and his speed, he absolutely could usurp Marvin Jones on this list or Josh Reynolds. I mean, let's face it. This is an unknown, right? This kid could be, I mean, let's not undersell it or oversell it. Let's just look at the facts. Like Jeremy just said, he's got top line speed. I went and looked at his college highlights last night, and he's making one-handed grabs. He's great on contested balls, back shoulder throws. When the throw isn't right there, he's able to adjust his body and make the catch. And he's playing against, in the Big 12, so it's not like he's a Division II school. And he lit it up his senior year. He was drafted in the 2nd round, but there were a lot of first-round grades on him. So I'm telling you, this could be something special, guys. This could be an absolute coup that Brad Holmes has pulled off here with this kid, a former 2nd-round pick who they're just giving up on in New York because Aaron Rodgers is in town now. And what did we give up? We traded a 6th and a 7th round pick. Isn't that the conditions of the trade?
It's a conditional 6th round pick. He has to play 60% of his games or it becomes a 7th round pick in 2024. And it's the 2025 7th round pick. So it could end up being 2 7th round picks if he washes out.
All right, so I want to jump into some of these comments right here. We got a lot of people saying good morning, and all respect right here to Sydney, who doesn't have any respect for us, but you keep running your mouth in my comments right here, and you haven't even claimed a fan base yet.
Yeah, he did. He's a bear.
Okay. Jeremy B vouches for you as a bear, but I'm looking through these comments like when you get into where did he say
up here?
No drought. You ain't doing shit. Fantastic. F this bomb. The first comment is Mike. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Sydney, you may be a Bear fan.
I'm so scared. Lions will get owned. You'll batter for 4th place. We made bigger moves than you dummies. No doubt.
Yeah,
Bears are running all over your asses. It's an emoji.
Okay, so you
wait, isn't it that cute little teddy bear emoji?
Listen up.
It's Teddy Ruxpin.
Listen. But I am going to say this to this guy right here. You got to you have to announce yourself. You don't just walk into a fight and just start smacking people around. We don't even know who you like. What are you like a Charger fan or something like that? Emojis don't cut it on this show. Don't come in here and talk and smack. At least I know that Steven Van Ness is a Packer fan just by his thing right there. But if you want to run your mouth about the Lions, that's fine. We're talking about the Lions and Denzel Mims. And you have done some moves in the offseason as the Bears. That's fine. But we're not talking about the Bears right now. We're talking about Denzel Mims.
Shred this clown. You want me to shred this clown, Russ?
Did you guys win a game in the division last year? Shut your mouth till you do.
Let's let Jeremy be right first. Go ahead, Jeremy.
So did you guys win a divisional game against anybody last year? No. Who won the most games in the division? The fucking Lions. Stick that in your pipe and up your ass and smoke it.
How are you going to top that, Mike?
Monday night at 7 p.m. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
we invite you, Sydney, to come on the show Monday night, 7 p.m. Show your face, 7 p.m. Eastern, and bring that weak ass $1 and the number 1 draft pick. More moves than us? You're damn right you made more moves than us because you had the worst team in the league. Second-round draft pick.
We like that.
And you're trying to talk smack about it? Your team got totally destroyed in Detroit. We shut it off by the third quarter. You were so far down. What'd you
You've had
bring
enough
in,
of that
Nate
shit.
Davis? You brought in Nate Davis. That's your savior. And the fourth best tackle in the draft, and you took him second. And you're thinking that's going to save your quarterback who can't throw the ball into the ocean? For God's sake, Sydney, get a life.
Well, that was the shredding of Sydney right there, and that's fine. You can stay in the comments if you want, but I also want to be able to invite you to get shredded not only on Monday night, but a more tapered back version here. But we want to throw the link in there if anybody wants to come on and talk a little bit of Denzel Mims. That's what we're talking about today. The Lions make a move. They trade some low round movement to get a wide receiver that was drafted in 2021 in the second round. So they really gave up on this guy to bring in Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard.
Is this another guy for Amon Rada's show? Hey, guess what? You're not as good as me, but you were drafted before me.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, this is on the list of 17 that drafted ahead of Amon Ra. Oh yeah, I love this.
By the power of Ra.
But he's now on the team, so Amon Ra is going to be nice to this guy.
Yeah, but he's still going to say, hey, you may have been drafted in the second round, but who got traded and who didn't?
So we want to throw this out there, guys. I mean, we want to know what you think about this trade. I mean, obviously we got a couple Bear fans out there that ain't too worried about the Lions picking up Denzel Mims. We got Van Ness is in the comments too. What do you think about this Denzel Mims pickup? Is it anything? You can type in the comments who. If you don't even know who he is, if you think that he's going to be an impact player, say impact player. Type that in the comments. Or if you just, if you're just now hearing about it, just put a one pride, go pack, go, or bear down, or what does Viking say?
Skull. Doesn't
Skull.
it stand for still keep on losing in playoffs?
Or what? What is it? Cheers in Norwegian.
Correct.
That is what it is.
I need to ask Sydney a question.
Sydney, are you paying attention?
All right, here, Sydney, what's your favorite scary movie?
Okay. So Sarah says Vikings, Lions, Bears, Packers for a wide receiver core. Okay.
That's pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah, for sure. You think that you're not too sold on that Packer wide receiver core, huh?
No, it wasn't the best last year, and it won't be the best this year.
Okay.
I'm taking Romeo Doubs as a dark horse late round wide receiver in my fantasy. I think he's going to be a very reliable receiver for Jordan Love. You've got to realize that Romeo Doubs has been taking second team reps with Jordan Love all of last year. He's probably already got a built-in rapport with Jordan Love that's better than Christian Watson. I wouldn't be surprised if he leads the team in receiving this year. So there's your little fantasy tip from main event Mike. There's your fantasy tip.
By the power of Ra.
Now I'm going to hit this Steve Van Ness right here says, what if Mims catches the winning score in the Super Bowl to beat the Jets?
That's the biggest what if question I've ever seen.
Wow, what a great who put that question out there? Give that
a Packer fan.
A Packer fan, Steve Van Ness, says that. Now, what I'll say to that is watching the Jets be a train wreck right now and trade away two young, good wide receivers and Elijah Moore and now Denzel Mims to bring in Lazard and Cobb tells me that maybe my Super Bowl pick of them was a little bit premature.
Right. They're going to finish third in their own division, and every Packer fan's going to love it.
I liked the Jets, and then the Jets all of a sudden in the last 2 months became the Jets, and they did a whole bunch of Jets type of stuff, and here they are. Gosh, I would hate to be a Jets fan. I feel so bad for you.
I do like
if you're a
this,
Jets
though.
fan.
You like that?
What do you got there?
Right. It's so bad.
Jamison Williams
It's so
rookie
bad
card.
The Jets are the only franchise that Lions fans feel bad for.
Playoffs?
Yeah, we haven't sniffed the playoffs. It didn't look like they're going to be sniffing any playoffs anytime soon. I mean, what a bad trade for them, regardless of what you think out there. I mean, I would love to know what you think. Hey, Russell, Shorty, and I say hello. Hi, Cassandra. Cassandra, that's an old. She's one of the people back from the Crop Circle days when I was
All right.
when I was gigging right there. Hi, Cassandra. Vanessa says, "Hey, Mike, this is Vanessa. Remember me?"
Oh.
You're Darcy's sister.
Calvin says, well, for Mims having a better QB and probably a better OC should be better when he's than he was when he was with the Jets. And I can subscribe to that. Subscribe to that. This kid has not been given a proper chance.
I mean, he did really good with a horrible QB at Baylor. That Baylor QB did not get drafted. He was a UDFA. There was a reason for it. He was dog water. They had a good defense, and they had good wide receivers to help him look better because they were able to catch everything under the sun when he threw it at their knees or over their heads.
Yeah,
But
I mean, he's
6'3". He's 6'3", Russ.
right.
And he's a contested catch.
Line speed. He's got that top line speed, and he's 6'3". He's a play beyond the numbers, an X receiver, which is exactly what we needed. We were worried that Marvin Jones was a little too long in the tooth and that Josh Reynolds didn't have enough speed to take the top off the defense. This guy checks both of those boxes as a bridge between Josh Reynolds and Marvin Jones. I love this pickup. And let's face it, the Jets were just going to cut him. So I can't really fault the Jets too much on this trade because they were just going to cut him, and they even made it public that they were going to cut him if they couldn't find a trade partner.
Well,
and as soon as that report came out, I'll bet Brad Holmes picked up the phone and said, hey, I'll give you a 7th rounder.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like conditional. It's like moving from the 6th to the 7th. It's like it's not even an actual draft capital. It's just movement. It's draft movement. So they basically gave him to us. And if he was drafted in 21 with Amon-Ra St. Brown, we don't have to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown this year. We could wait all the way till next year and let this guy marinate behind this OC and our offense for the whole year if he even makes the team. I'm sure he will. I think he will make the team, but this is a really savvy
hey,
move.
John, I will tell you one thing. While going back and watching game film last night, I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning to do this after the trade was done. When I was done podcasting,
Hey, can you tell me what comment you're talking about? While
John says Mims can't catch. He had drop issues since college.
Okay,
You're talking about a guy that had QBs that were dog water to dog crap.
So John, Jeremy is definitely selling Mims to you, and you're not buying it. So, and that's okay. I mean,
and he makes 60% of his contested catches.
And that's good. That's all really, really good stats for Mims. I don't mind it because really I don't have to justify if it's good or not because we gave nothing up for it. We needed competition in the wide receiver room, and he provides that, and he provides the type of player that we are missing for 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, John,
So-
this has to be Dorn.
Yeah. So John says, "All I hear excuses for what, John? Actually, we're telling both sides of the story here. I see your side right here. He has not done anything yet. His career has not been good. He's on Amon-Ra St. Brown, his list, his list of people that he passed for a reason, because Amon-Ra St. Brown is a much better wide receiver out of that class and Mims as ever. He needs to come here and prove himself.
And
Anything that you're saying from Baylor doesn't, I mean, that doesn't even matter. There's no excuse. He needs to come here or he isn't even going to make this roster. So let's not oversell it too much.
No.
If Mims makes squad, who gets cut? What
Right.
does Jeremy think of that?
There's one guy that is slow. He's small. He does a lot of things for us, but I'm sorry, it'll probably be Mr. Kennedy.
Yeah, I
So
think
the
that, well, no, Kennedy was going to get cut no matter what.
No, but I'm just saying this pretty much solidifies it.
Okay, so there's somebody else. What Mike is saying here, Mike, and I think that you're alluding to possibly maybe this being like Marvin Jones or Josh Reynolds, that type of thing. Are you going there?
No, I mean, Tom Kennedy was already a practice squad player, right?
Right.
We know
Right,
it
and
isn't-
he's not available for the
Hold
practice
on,
squad again this
Jeremy.
year.
Hold on a minute, Jeremy. Hold on a second.
We know it's going to be Stanley Berryhill. Tom Kennedy was already a practice squad player. So let's just assume that Mims makes it on the 53-man roster with Amon-Ra, Marvin Jones, Jamison Williams. What do you keep? 6 receivers, right? Jeremy, you keep
Yep.
6?
You keep
Right.
6.
So Marvin Jones, Amon-Ra, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, Denzel Mims, and Jamison Williams. That's 6.
But he's
No room
suspended,
for
so he's suspended for 6 weeks. So during the 6 weeks, Jamison Williams doesn't count towards the roster.
This is
Right, but one of those guys will have to go, Tom Kennedy and also Antoine Green, we didn't
Right.
mention. 2 of those names are not going to be included. Now, they
correct.
could do something like have Khalif Raymond just as a kick returner, but he's too good in the passing game on third down and things like that. He's too reliable. This is really, like Russ said, this puts competition in the wide receiver room. And let's face it, Denzel Mims could be one of those guys that gets beat out and he doesn't even make this team.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this could be a nothing thing, right? Go ahead, Jeremy.
And this is what I was getting at. He's got a defensive-minded head coach who did not put the best assistants around him to begin with, which makes it hard to develop an offensive player of any type. Look at all the ones that have struggled that they've drafted. Zach Wilson, offensive lineman, wide receivers, Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims. There's a reason for that. So you take that out of the equation now, and what's the first thing you cut if they don't work? You just let the talent rise to the top and get rid of the ones that aren't making it. It's offensive guys because they're a defensive-minded head coach.
John says that he had a 44% catch rate last year.
Yeah, and you griped about.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean,
I don't care.
There you go. All I hear.
Here's the thing. Wait, he's sitting there and he makes excuses for Watson at the beginning of the season for all the drops he had.
He
does. No, he does. What I'm saying is, so if a bad throw comes into a guy and it grazes his fingers and damn near breaks it off, and they count that as a drop, or a cornerback bats it out of your hands, that still counts as a drop, correct?
No.
I'm not sure on that. I'm just saying that John's making this point. I mean, this is a stat right here, and you can defute it all you want. I mean, but
no, it is a stat. I'm just saying he wasn't developed there properly.
Okay, but then when he says all I hear are excuses, you defend the fact that you're not making excuses. You're making an excuse if you're defending the fact that he had a 44% catch rate. He hasn't been good.
Game.
That's why we got him cheap.
We got him for nothing. We got a 2nd-round pick for nothing. It's a good add-on for depth, is what it is if he makes the team. And I'm not calling him to be a number 2. I'm not calling him to be a number 1. I'm not even calling him to be a 3. He'll be a rotational guy that comes in and offers speed.
If he makes the team.
He makes the team.
I think that's where we're going right here. It's like I like the pickup. I like the pick because there's no risk with it. But if he doesn't make the team, I'm also not going to be hurt. Like this doesn't move the needle all that much for me right now.
No, the Jets traded Mims so Randall Cobb can make their roster. That's what happened.
And this is true right here, John, that Mims is a wasted roster spot. Now, if he doesn't make the team, yeah, you move draft capital for nothing. Yep, it is a wasted roster spot if he does not make the team. Sarah says if it works out, great. If not, oh well. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it, Sarah? Right. I mean, who cares? It's like it's a body, it's a guy with speed and size, and it's what we need in the first 6 weeks. Mims refused to do special teams. Yeah, well, that may hurt him. That may hurt him in making the team.
Sarah saying, I'm not even a Lions fan, and I'm defending the pickup.
Well, it's definitely not. I mean, you can't say anything bad about the pickup because, I mean, they didn't give anything up for it.
No, I'm saying that the Jets have Randall Cobb on their roster and Alan Lazard, and they had to make room for those ancient, decrepit, injury-prone players to stay on the roster. So Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims are gone.
Yeah, I think that this is more of an awful move for the Jets than it is a good move for us.
Right.
You know, I look at Randall Cobb as an emotional support animal for Aaron Rodgers. like Aaron Rodgers probably goes in the grocery
It's my quarterback.
puts in the basket and walks around the supermarket like people do at Chihuahua.
You've had enough of that shit.
Oh gosh, that's a support, and Randall Cobb is yeah, Randall Cobb is Rodgers' spirit animal. Oh gosh, Calvin.
I mean, look at Khalif Raymond in 2021, and look at Khalif Raymond in 2022 as a wide receiver. In 2021, he was one of the leaders of drops on this team. Remember that? And then in 2022, he had a little bit of drop issue in the beginning. Nothing major. They weren't key drops. They didn't cost the game drops. And all of a sudden, he became Mr. Clutch on third down while everybody else was hurt. There's a reason for that. We develop players.
Now, and Tina, no, we did not say that we had Randall Cobb too. We were saying that we picked up Denzel Mims from the Jets, and the Jets were getting rid of their young talent so they could bring in artifacts like Randall Cobb, who is Aaron Rodgers' emotional support spirit animal.
Right.
It's my quarterback.
Yeah.
Can we put out a call to John Dorn to unblock me so that I can invite him to be in our fantasy league?
Is he blocked? John Dorn, you haven't blocked. Hey, John Dorn, we're looking to add another Packer fan to this fantasy football league, John. And if you can get out of your emotions and out of your feelings to unblock Main Event Mike, then you could be part of this epic fantasy football team that is going to have a bunch of guys that, yeah, we have everybody that is on different fan. But what do we have? 2 or 3 from each fan base, Mike?
We have 2 Vikings, 2 Bears. I'm looking to get the second Packer.
You must have a lot of boxes in that fantasy league, right? You need 2 Packers.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it wasn't hard to find Lion fans.
No.
No.
But yeah, finding the Packer fans that would actually want to compete against, guys like us right here.
And then we're going to get 2 spots for viewers, for our fans and the people that tune into the show. And we haven't decided yet how we're going to open those 2 spots up, but it's going to be something creative. And we're going to want to get 2 of the people who pay attention to the main event and listen to Russell Wayne every day at 11 a.m. and listen to the NFC North Open mics Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're one of those people and you want to be in the fantasy, we'll only have 2 spots left. Please shoot us a message in any of our platforms and let us know that you're interested, and we'll make a decision.
I love it. I love playing fantasy football, and we will be doing a fantasy football as we get into training camp and, and finding out who's actually going to be on these rosters, we'll do a couple of fantasy football shows on here. And I want to know what you think on fantasy football too. And NFC North open mic. That's a lot of fun. We
Tina
do have a
said
lot.
she's interested as a fan
So Tina's interested as
in the
as a
fantasy
fan,
football.
but she's
She's invested every day. She's definitely
She
the
is.
front runner right now.
John Robinson asks a great question here. The media is so mixed up on the Lions since the draft. Some of us some see us as deep playoff contenders. Others say first round was wasted on Gibbs and Campbell and the defense additions. What's your opinion? Those who do not see the big picture are the ones that think the draft picks were wasted on Gibbs and Campbell. And after seeing that one-on-one Peter Schrager interview and exactly what he said about Gibbs, I understand him being the 12th pick of him overall, because he's an offensive weapon, not just a running back. He goes, remove the running back nomenclature from what you think of this guy. And Jack Campbell's the biggest linebacker we've had since Chris Spielman on the roster. We've needed a big, athletic, pass-covering linebacker again.
Jeremy, you're going to have to pump the brakes, brother. You have to pump the brakes. We don't use big words like nomenclature on this show, okay?
I'm sorry, I write for a living. I have some of those $20 words in my vocabulary.
Not sure you. But to that question by John, that's a great question too, by the way. And I love that you alluded to the Pete Schrager interview with Brad Holmes. Anybody who hasn't seen it, you should go watch it and hear what Brad Holmes had to say specifically about draft and the draft process. How there are rarely, and Bill Polian, of course, Hall of Fame GM, has said this many times, there are less than 20 players any given year that have first round grades. So anybody beyond pick 20 is essentially a second round pick. And Brad Holmes and his staff identified 14 guys. This was one of the worst drafts in the modern era as far as first round grades. He said at one point there were only 9 players with a first round grade. And guess what? Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell were in that 9. They were in that 18. So for us to get them in the first 18 picks, Brad Holmes considers this a huge win, and you should too. And I'll tell you why. Only one NFL team, John Robinson, tell all these detractors that only one NFL team had 5 players in the top 50, and that was the Detroit Lions.
I love that. That's a great take, Mike. And that's a great answer to that question. I hope that answers your question, because I don't even want to touch on that because that was so good right there. And really, I'll say this. I'll say that to give up or put all of your faith into anything that was drafted this year is a little bit premature. Either way, I mean, we all have a lot of high hopes for Jahmyr Gibbs because he's got a skill set that if you feed that skill set, and you know this in fantasy football, here's a little fantasy football tidbit. Opportunity is what everything is in fantasy football. And Jahmyr Gibbs getting picked number 12 overall, one thing that he definitely will get behind this top 5 offensive line is opportunity. So I love that. That is a great question. Thank you, John. Thank you for actually asking a question. That's awesome because we really want to serve you.
You made a great point about opportunity, Russ. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get the opportunity because Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift are both gone. And that's a lot of carries. That's a lot of targets in the passing game. They got to go somewhere. And Jahmyr Gibbs is second in line behind David Montgomery to get all of those touches.
And for the people that say pump the brakes, you look at this picture right here, and you can say pump the brakes all you want, but here's the thing. You got the man standing in the middle, Sam Laporta, and the guy to the left of him, Jahmyr Gibbs. They were draft picks this year. You've never seen anything. And are we putting too much faith in these guys? Well, I don't know. There are guys. They were drafted in that spot to get opportunities. You don't draft a tight end at 34 and not throw him the ball a whole bunch of times. You don't draft a running back at 12 and then not give them the opportunity to do that. So I'm not pumping the brakes because you ain't got no tape on these guys And everything that they're learning right now, you're going to see for the very first time week 1, and defend that with this offensive line. Bring it.
Amen.
I'll tell you what, Gibbs and Jack Campbell are not going to be considered steals if they make the Pro Bowl or if they have stellar careers, because by being selected 12th and 18th respectively, those two are going to perform like those high draft picks should. Who the real steal is going to be Brian Branch in the 3rd round, Hendon Hooker, 2nd round, Hendon Hooker in the 3rd round. These are going to be the steals of this draft in the future, mark my words.
I love it. You want to touch on that, Jeremy?
No, I mean, he's pretty much said everything I've been saying all along. You can't say somebody's going to be a bust just because they were picked.
Right.
And you can't say somebody's going to be great just because they were picked.
And we're not the same old Lions. I love going against people that say that we're the same old Lions, because it isn't the same old Lions. The same old Lions don't beat the Packers in Lambeau. They don't beat 3 playoff teams. Like
week 18, I wrote my article. It said the same old Lions casket was lowered into the grave as we drove out of Green Bay.
It is. And if you deny that, then you're just dumb. I'm sorry, but you're just dumb, because if it's the same old Lions, oh yeah, I've gotten so used to over the years just whooping on playoff teams every single year. That's same old Lions. Wow, we always whoop the Green Bay Packers and Lambeau. Wow, I remember all of those times we did that. Remember, Jeremy? No.
Playoffs?
We don't go there because our team's been bad.
Right.
Yeah. Favored to win the division. Favored 12 out of 17 games. Same old Lions.
Yeah. First time since 1993 they've been favored, and they won the division that time.
And Sarah, the Viking fan right here, this is good. You can draft top draft picks, and it don't mean that they'll turn out. Look at Okudah. It's hit or miss. No one knows. And that's fair. That is fair. The Lions are in a prove-it season, okay? Like, we're not going to be able to toot this grand horn of all of the success that we've had over the years or anything like that. We have to prove it. We understand that. But I'm looking at this team, and I'm stacking this 53 up against any 53 in the NFL. And we're just fine. We're
going to see
you
it
better
on
bring
display.
a lunch
We're
to
going
whoop
to
this
see it
team.
on display versus in the first week, the Super Bowl champions, the defending Super Bowl champions. Think about that. That says a lot about what the NFL thinks about the Detroit Lions going into the season, to put that on week 1 as the very first game of the week.
Tina says that she is glad that Swift is gone.
I am too.
Sure. Stephen Van Ness says Gibbs will be a bust. I'm sorry to say it, but it has to be said. Well, coming from a Packer fan, I wouldn't expect you to think
that's
that he's going
because
to be
they drafted
great.
Eddie Lacy and Trent Richardson from Alabama. He's still upset about that, or traded for Trent Richardson, whatever. He had both of them on their roster.
That's what we're going to be saying. We're going to be running the ball, and you're going to be trying to stop us at the end of, and we're going to say, "Say hello to my little friend." And as Gibb closes out the game, trying to use my new drops today.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
That's okay. That one's a better one for you, Steve. Good morning. I like this right here because we'll even put it, because I know Rob must be out on vacation here. Morning from the fabulous Breakwater Restaurants. Dropped in to say hey and have an awesome day. Love to chat, but can't. Well,
thanks, Rob Turbo.
That's awesome. I mean, if that's your restaurant, then there you take your appetite to the Breakwater Restaurant, the fabulous Breakwater Restaurant. And yeah, there we go. Calvin says, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of what kind of possible mismatches that we can get with the people that we have for the offense and other teams on defense? There you go, Jeremy.
4.4 speed or better is blow the top off of safety zone defenses. Because if you don't check them and slow them down within that first 5 yards where you can put your hands on them, they are going to be at top speed by the time they hit the safeties, who don't have time to react, and they get over the top wide open, creating separation.
How about you, main event, Mike? Are you still
Well,
there?
who are you going to cover? You got so many weapons.
Who are you going to cover? Jair Alexander. You're going to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown. That means the rest of your bums in your secondary are going to have to cover Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, the 3 tight ends not named T.J. Hawkinson, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Jones. All these guys are a step above. I mean, you might have Kyler Gordon in Chicago. You've got a couple of good safeties, but you just don't have enough to match up. Now, you take a team like the Miami Dolphins or the Dallas Cowboys, they have enough secondary to help to be able to handle all these weapons. But the teams in our division, not even close.
Yeah, I'm looking at matchup weapons all over the place. And one thing that Ben Johnson is so good at is finding those matchup problems, right? So with David Montgomery, you have a traditional 3 down back type of dude that you can hand the ball off to. And Jahmyr Gibbs, to me, is just going to be this like queen chess piece. And wherever your weak dude is, they're going to put Jahmyr right on this guy, and they're going to get the ball to him and Sam Laporta in space. And you got to be able to try to tackle these guys, and they're really, really, really hard to tackle. So we got.
I don't know where he's heard
nightmares.
this. Steve N.S. says every Detroit fan has said Jordan Love will suck and Green Bay should be a USFL team and get out of the NFL. We haven't said that here. We said he's the biggest question mark coming into this season because you don't know if he'll be great and you don't know if he'll be bad.
Let me see. Oh, so you're down here on this comment right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So every Detroit fan. Okay. I don't think that that's true, but I also think that Jordan Love has everything to prove right here. So I think that the other 3 fan bases are looking at you, assuming that
It's my quarterback.
Jordan Love is just going to step right in to a Hall of Famer's shoes and just start slinging. Okay. You led the league in drop passes, which means that your quarterback that you're ripping on, that you couldn't get out of town fast enough, was put at a disadvantage because of your shoddy playmakers that you have on offense. So now you're going to take Jordan Love, who has 0 starting experience, 2 games in his whole career, and we're going to look back at these 2 prevent defenses that he played against, and you're going to tell me that he's the greatest thing in the world? I ain't telling you he's going to be a bust. I'm telling you that it is the biggest question mark in the NFC North because we haven't seen it. But for you to assume that he's going to be good is worse than me assuming that he's going to be average or below average, because I have 2 spots that I can put him in.
Sarah Zhang says it's bad. Packers been talking shit for years. Now you're going to cry because we're hitting back because your Hall of Fame quarterback is gone.
I like it.
Back to your
Shots
question,
fired.
though, Russ, about mismatch. Back to your question.
It's my
about
quarterback.
mismatch. I think the thing that makes the Detroit Lions the most dangerous going into 2023 is an elite offensive line and a quarterback whose best trick in his arsenal is play action. And now you add these top line speed guys on the outside to a savvy play action quarterback with an elite offensive line. That all adds up to trouble for teams that don't have better than top half in the league defenses. And no one in this division has that.
I like that take. That's a great take.
And you know what else they don't have? The best rated offensive coordinator in the league.
Right.
Okay, here we go. I got a question right here. John again says, can Goff break Stafford's total yardage single season?
God, I hope not.
Single season records.
God, I hope not, because that means we're playing from behind every friggin' game.
Right.
Yeah.
Good call, Jeremy.
If it's short game yardage, like if it's a bunch of screen yard stuff, I don't mind if he breaks that. If it's just a bunch of dump offs where he gets a lot, where we're using the screen pass or the short game as our run plays, I don't mind that as much. But no, I agree with Jeremy right there. We don't want to.
I want to
have
see
5,000 yards.
A duplicate season of what I saw last year, maybe even a little less.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Maybe more running yards. It may be the same, but
Well,
with
no,
a
our
little more
rushing
less.
yards, we had 2,000. I can't expect that. Not out of a rookie and David Montgomery combined. I don't see 2,000 yards. I see 1,500 plus. That's still a good rushing total for a team on an average. 1,500 plus,
Right.
and the 20 plus touchdowns.
Yeah, it is
Between all
kind
of
of. We may be, our eyes may be a little bit bigger than what, because something has to give, because there is only one ball, and especially if you play into the running the ball and the ball control and being able to control time more, you're going to be taking possessions away too. So you don't really want 5,000 yards unless you plan on passing the ball and you have Joe Burrow. Like, we ain't got that. We want to distribute, and we want to get our offensive line working in space, in my opinion, with less passing yards. And I would like to see the total be right about 2,000 again. I like that total. That's a good total.
Yeah, I think we're going to be somewhere. Jared Goff's probably going to end between 4,000 and 4,500 yards, just like he's done in his best years. He's going to end up with that 28 to 30 touchdowns. And I'm not going to say he's going to have 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio again. He's usually average of about, it's a 3-to-2 or a 2-to-1 is what he usually does if you look at it overall. So probably 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions tops.
Yeah, you'd like to see that. I like to see him keep that. I want to see him break the record, because then that would be a real good thing if he breaks the consecutive passes without an interception. Because when he came
that would
here,
be cool.
I like it because when he came here, there were so many
Everybody
people.
bagged on him.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, he's a turnover machine," and it's like, "Oh, maybe he's the greatest ever in that spot." Okay, if he hits that, but I wonder what these Lions pants I want become. When Love becomes the man in the North. We were hoping that you can write it. Did I read that wrong? Wonder what these Lions fans probably. I want to say that Love becomes the man in the North. I don't know. Maybe Love will become the man in the North. He ain't going to become the man in the North.
Not overnight.
I mean, gosh, you guys are funny. You guys call us homers, and it's funny. It's like, I'm not allowed to tout Goff because I'm a Lions fan and I'm a homer, and he
I'm not
actually
allowed to
went
tout
out.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not allowed to tout that David Montgomery ran behind a trash O-line, and we got one of the best O-lines in the league, and he'll be better than he was with Chicago. I'm not able to toot that.
Gosh, you finish my sentences better than my wife does, Jeremy.
I'm sorry. I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry.
Oh, but I think that it's funny that they come out and they give us such a hard time about like Goff actually did stuff last year, right? Like, he actually put up the numbers, and you're like, yeah, you guys are homers, but Love's going to be MVP the first year. Okay. All right.
It's time now for station identification. You're listening to the NFC North Phone Sessions Football Talk with Russell Wayne, brought to you by the Homer Depot.
The Homer Depot.
Woo! QB Production says Jeremy, and I'm like going, oh, okay, who's that?
All right, so that is a good time for us to pause and give credit where the credit is due. We are broadcasting into a bunch of different places that we got to give the credit to. The Detroit Lions news, Joe Chap, that's great. Detroit Lions content right there. You're 55,000. We appreciate being able to broadcast into your platform. This is our platform, the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. Please give us a like and a follow. Helps us reach more of the avid football fans in the world. We have the Hallis Hall Report right here. The Mike the Bear fan. And they're broadcasting every Wednesday. I know that they got a show every Wednesday. It's going to be going on during the season, and Sunday mornings right beforehand. And then Packer fans, Packer heads, you guys can go follow Bill the Packer fan. That's 365 content of the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, on our very own show, we have our own. And I'm going to let you do that. Hold on, let me get this thing out of the way. And then why don't you tell people where they can find you, Jeremy B.?
Well, and we also stream it to my channel, Kneecap Biting with the Detroit Lions on YouTube.
And I love the fact that we have all of these different people all over the place. All of us do this podcasting thing, but what we like to do here at the main event is be a platform where everybody can come on here. I know there's a lot of podcasting shows out there. We love it when we can get Woody on here from the Hallis Hall. But if you have a podcast and you're representing like the Minnesota Vikings, or you're representing, feel free to jump on here, plug your show. It's a free platform for that. You guys can. We just love talking football 365 days a year.
Yes, but it's the followers that make the engine go, Russ. We need followers. It's Detroit Lions Villain Squad. We're at 928 followers as of today. We're trying to reach our first goal of 1,000 and stay ahead of Jeremy Ballright. So please,
go ahead.
To the Detroit Lions Villain Squad and follow the page, please.
Oh gosh!
And don't forget my Facebook page, Motor City Kneecap Biters, for you diehard Detroit fans.
And I'll tell you what, and really the beautiful thing about this is we do compete with each other, but it's not. It's all in fun, because here's the thing: the more platforms that have good Detroit Lion content or good Packer content, Bears and Vikings, football is growing. It's great. It's great that everybody comes on here and can talk some football on a regular basis. Right. So
a high tide raises all ships.
That's right.
Is that Ron Jeremy with his hair shaved?
I gotta move back up into some of these comments here. Okay, I got to get back to where we were here. Like I said, okay.
Bear Down Mike gave a good assessment there. We did that one.
Well, let me just kind of roll down through on to find one right here. Like I said, we have some hidden gems. R.I.P. Goff's head off, and Fields and Cousins. Yeah, Sarah, I said Cousins. Okay, so I think Steven and Sarah have a little chat going on right here.
Mm-hmm.
Dump offs with speed. Aiden Hutchinson. Curtis says Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston will make love, and A-Rod wish that A-Rod stayed in Green Bay. Yeah, I'm not a good. I'm having a hard time seeing these right here. So you can read. That's all of them right there.
Yeah, because then he says you guys are great, and is that Ron Jeremy with his head shaved?
Who looks like Ron Jeremy with their head shaved?
I think he's saying me.
So we're gonna.
That's good. That's only because you only see from the neck up.
Come on.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We're gonna have to call him Ron. What is it? Ron Jeremy B.
No.
Oh, you guys are great. I love. Hey, Van Ness, why won't you come on here? Should I throw the thing in there? I got about 20 minutes before I got to turn into a pumpkin here. So if you guys want to talk some more football, we invite you to join the conversation. Yesterday, we were talking about quarterbacks in the future, in this NFC North is so weird because we could actually see four brand new quarterbacks next year. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's going to happen. But when you think about it,
the possibilities there.
I mean, Justin Fields, no one's sold on Justin Fields, not even Bear fans. In the back of your mind, you guys are frightened that he's going to be what he's been. Jordan Love, there's no guarantee that he's going to be there next year, right? And I mean, Kirk Cousins. Oh, Kirk Cousins. And then Jared Goff, I mean, they might just move on. They may just say, hey, we're going to get some draft capital on him. We're going to move on to Hendon Hooker. So you could actually see. They might just move on. They may just say, hey, I can't. I'm going to, hey, you'll have to turn off the background.
I don't have it on. I got headphones.
Van Ness, you're in the back. You have to turn your background music off so we don't get a delay through our thing. Can you hear me? Van Ness? Brother man,
It's down. Oh, he did pop in. Cool.
Let me see. Okay. There you are. So there's Van Ness right there. Say something.
What's up?
Yeah, very good. No echo.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure we had no echo in there. Sometimes that's
well, when you said Vanessa, I was almost expecting a cheerleader or a girl fan.
Well, there's so many people because of this name. I use this name elsewhere, and they, a friend of mine, she sit there and she accidentally called me Vanessa, and then I started laughing. And then Maniac, man, main event Mike here. I got a name for him.
Ma'am.
Ma'am.
No, main event Michaela.
Main event Michaela. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still there, Mike? Or did you get?
I'm still here, guys.
Hi, Mike.
But what I want to say
That's
is,
Michaela.
what's
I identify as main event Michaela.
What I want,
Oh, please save us, save us, Van Ness.
Yes.
what I want to say is, what's I'm excited for this season, and with Aaron Rodgers gone, it just feels good. There's no Super Bowl expectations now. Like it's like a clean slate. It's fresh. I love the draft we had. I love the team that we have. I mean, I'm not expecting much. I mean, if we can go 8, 9, 9, 8, 10, and 7, I'd be surprised. I mean, I'm just being real here, okay?
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. You said 8 and 9 even? Again?
Well, like, hey, with a quarterback that hasn't played yet.
Okay.
Okay, see, this is what I can say about me than other fans.
Uh-oh.
We'll see.
This Wi-Fi is brought to you by Walmart.
Yeah. Or the Taliban. I mean, they're trying to get.
I couldn't help it. You had your Walmart Wi-Fi going again.
Well, the Wi-Fi everywhere is messed up, I guess, because I was on other podcasts really like Uber places, and it's all messing up everywhere. But with us having a quarterback now that hasn't played, I mean, I'm just being logistic real here now. Okay, I would be stoked if we finished 8, 9, 9, 8, 10, and 7. I mean, if that happens, I mean, I'm excited for this because this whole diva drama, like. I do go over to the Jet podcast just to listen to them, and I'm like, you know what? These guys have no idea whatsoever what they got in Aaron Rodgers. They don't know the prima donna, the diva. I mean, Aaron, to me, he thought he was above the league. He thought he was above everybody in this whole league, and I got tired of it. This is the Green Bay Packers. This isn't the Aaron Rodgers Packers or whatever, and I think, like a lot of these guys said, like Gutekunst said that he had a hard time contacting Rodgers. Rodgers with this, well, whatever. It's all BS. And I think, Gutekunst was smart to get rid of this drama because we don't need this on the team. And now it's a clean slate. So I'm excited for this season, for whatever happens. And this whole every year when we had Rodgers, you saw the Super Bowl expectations. I got tired of it. I mean, now it's a clean slate. I mean,
we should be excited, because, and not just for this year, because what happened is they ripped the Band-Aid off with this Rodgers trade, and you're
right.
All of that dead cap right up front. And so not only do you have Love that you get to figure out what you have, but next year you get a whole bunch of money to play with too.
Yeah. And did you guys even see that we went and picked up the quarterback from the USFL, Alex Magoo, the MVP?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I was like, okay, this is.
You think that he's going to get it? Do you think that he can compete and maybe get in there ahead of Clifford? Because I like the Sean Clifford pick. I thought that was very savvy late round pick.
I think the guy out is going to be Danny Etling.
Danny who?
Danny Etling, number 19. I think
Yep.
he's going to be the guy out. I think this is why this happened and whatever. And there might be
your number 3 guy? Is that what that is?
Right. Well, those 3 are going to battle now for the backup. Because you got to figure now, Magoo has played in the NFL. He was drafted, I believe, by Seahawks.
Right.
Then he went to, I think, the Jaguars, and then there was another, and then there was another team, and then he goes back to the Seahawks again, and then next you know he's in the USFL. MVP wins 2. I guess he won 2 championships with them. I think Birmingham Stampede won. two back. Yeah.
Hey,
And now they do have quarterbacks like the now that they have it to where you can have three, you can roster 3 game day quarterbacks. Is that right, Main Event Mike? Is that the
Yeah.
rule?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the third one
Right.
doesn't count towards the 53-man roster, so it's
Right.
essentially as a 54-man roster.
Right. Right. Right.
So-
right.
Yep, there
Yeah.
are some people that are doing that. Mike, elaborate on that a little bit, would you?
Yeah, well, first, I will elaborate on that, but first I have to put out notice to all Packer fans. Don't give me any shit about Denzel Mims if you got Packer fans on here all happy about a USFL quarterback coming on the team. That's all I'm going to say. You got.
You know what's funny, Mike?
You hold on. I'm going to finish my take, and then we'll hear from you. I'm telling you, you got Green Bay with a USFL quarterback. You got P.J. Walker in Chicago, an XFL quarterback. And in Minnesota, you got the corpse of Randall Cunningham on the sideline. You got no one but the Detroit Lions in this NFC North has any depth at quarterback. And that's how fast did that change in just 1 year? Amazing.
Well, what's funny about Mims is I don't know if you guys ever saw him on there, Tom Grossi. The year when we drafted Love, okay? If you could, it's on you. You could go back and watch it. At the very beginning, when they traded up with Miami, Tom Grossi was excited stuff. He goes, "Give me Queen, give me Mims, give me Queen, give me." He wanted either Patrick Queen or Denzel Mims, and now I'm sitting there thinking back to this. Well, he wanted Mims, and whatever. I mean, really, and it's funny the way the end of, to me. You know, this is a billion-dollar business. And these things happen to me because it's supposed to happen. This is like, to me, I've always said this is like professional wrestling. I mean, I love the sport. I love my team. What?
Is he cutting out on you guys, or is it just me? Am I hearing him cut out, or is it just me?
I'm hearing him just fine. It might
Same here.
be you. Yep.
Cutting out at all?
You're cutting out.
You are.
Yeah, you are.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. It must be just on my end. I should have known an owner of an NFL team would have a better connection.
Okay, well, TJ says that he is cutting out. So maybe he's not. Maybe it's different for everybody.
Well, like I said, when I was on earlier on some Jet podcast, they was cutting out bad. What's his name? Richie. His picture was good. It was going down, and he sounded very distant and stuff like that. So it's happening a lot.
We're moving on from that, though. I'm not. So we're talking about Denzel Mims right here. And here's the thing: is like we're not over. I think he brings up an interesting point that you guys would trash on the Mims pick.
I haven't. I have never really trashed on Denzel Mims.
But when really it's in a world, if this came out 20 years ago in the media for 20 years, this is just a non-thing. You know, we made a roster move. Some things happened. Like this being news that we're actually talking about this right now is actually pretty funny.
I mean,
to me.
Honestly, to be real with you, want me to be real? If Mims balls out with the lines like this good, I would love that. Because then again, there's so much talk with the Jets now, all because Aaron Rodgers. And all I hear from them is, four-time MVP, four-time MVP, four-time MVP. Really? So if, like I said, I was one with the question, what if...
You mean like
Jets,
Packer fans for the last 10 years? Oh.
Yeah, well, like if the Jets, what if it is the Jets and the Lions in the Super Bowl? Just say. And if Mims will catch the winning score to beat the Jets in the
Hallelujah.
I'm looking right here. I have arrived as a Lion fan. I have arrived. I have a show where there's a Packer fan. I can see his Packer shirts, and he mentioned the Lions and the Jets in the Super Bowl. I have lived. I'm done. I have lived my fullest life
right now.
And to make Packers fans even happier. Think about this. You get to see Aiden Hutchinson stack discount double douche for 3 times.
You know what? I'm going to let Russell, Ron Jeremy, Mike, Sarah, Curtis, who's all here. I'm a realist, okay? I mean, I know how to have fun, I joke, whatever, but I'm a realist. I be real about things and so forth. It's just plain and simple. And it's amazing. Like I said, I just speak that it could happen. Now, here's one question I asked a long time ago on your guys' chat here. The NFC is stacked with Rodgers going up to the AFC. What quarterbacks in the NFC now would you guys say is elite?
Look at this. How did it came full circle, Jeremy? This is actually the same topic that we ended yesterday's show with, and let's continue because we were going to continue it anyway.
We talked about Hurts.
Just talk about one or two and leave some for the other guys that are out in the. Give me a couple dudes that you like.
And
you guys talked about this?
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday at nauseum for a minute towards the end of the show. Right now, the top three has to be Hurts, Goff, Cousins, and maybe Dak Prescott.
You think Cousins in there?
Yeah, you kind of have to. They were top 10. They're the only ones that were in the top 10 last year.
You ain't going to throw Purdy in there?
Well, okay.
No,
so
Purdy's hurt through halfway through the season. He can't be in there.
Now we're done with the Packer and Lion homering here. We have Bear Down Mike in the house right here. Who do you think? Like, give me your top 5 NFC quarterbacks. That's what we just kind of fell into here. How you doing, Bear Down Mike? How you doing? I'm sorry, I should just introduce you. Obviously you're a Bear fan. Are you from any show or anything like that you want to plug before you?
No
Okay.
show. No. I was just adding on with the Wims thing. I think for the value, it's great for you guys.
Okay.
Right. He's got to prove it though. But the thing is, we got Claypool last season, in the middle of the season. What was the issue there? He did not know the plays.
Right. Well, and you paid too much for him, too.
Yeah. You guys got him at a great time. Just before camp, he's going to know the playbook. He's going to have a training camp with the entire team. So it's going to look good.
I love that take.
With the Packers, with Love, if he was good, he would have started years ago when he was drafted.
No, well,
right?
Oh boy.
Yes and no.
Or at least sat a season and then played.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. He just had a season and played 9 times out of 10 with a first-round draft pick.
And also they would have just picked up his 5th-year option or extended him if they actually believed in him long term. So I know the organization Gutekunst doesn't believe in Love, but he's giving him a chance to at least try to prove himself.
Wasn't that only 10% guaranteed, that 1-year contract? So basically, this is a prove-it year for Love. If he bombs, they're going to trade his ass.
Right, but Gutekunst at least set the Packers up in a way that either way he's going to be able to do something. They got extra first-round pick. They can maneuver around. They can go get a quarterback if need be, if he does suck. And you can get rid of Love for nothing next year.
I can't wait.
Right.
I can't wait.
That's why
I love Sarah's take on Claypool and
contract.
Hockenson there.
Restructure the contract to make it cheaper. And they have that option next season. If they're not good, they're playing for a high-end quarterback or trade him to get somebody else.
Hey, Mike, did you want to get one more shot in here?
Yeah, Russell Wayne. You are the maestro, Russell Wayne, and you are the producer, and I cannot wait for the drops that you are going to create when Jordan Love falls on his face. We're going to start with
I don't give a damn.
We'll start with the Jay Giles. Love stinks. And then they'll cut him. And you'll go to Cher. Do you believe in life after love? It's going to be a glorious thing.
Adarian West, that is basically what I said. He says not every first-round QB is going to start and play their first year. They shouldn't be depending on the team's situation. Yeah, I said most of them should sit a year. I firmly believe that.
Russ, it just dawned on me, If one of these Packer fans jump in, you can put the drop in of Tina Turner. What's Love got to do with it?
What's love got to do with it? Okay.
Yeah,
Right
and
on.
if he's as bad as we hope he is, and I'm not talking about Steve Van Ness there, I'm talking about the rest of us. If he's as bad as we hope he is, we got to have a drop of Jay Giles band. Love stinks.
Yep.
What a great idea. I wish I'd have thought of that.
Yeah. No, like, didn't you just literally just say that? I can't wait.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
did you
Ken
just
Doby's on line one.
did you that you literally just said that, and then Jeremy said it again, right?
Right.
Oh, I can't
No,
wait.
he said, "What's love got to do with it?" Tina Turner.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
okay. Let it go, Ruff. Let it go.
Okay. Let's see. I got to get in here. Base Jared says praying for the Packers 8-win season, and Jordan Love can be decent enough so they can get Williams.
They can't get Williams.
Jordan Love plays decent. So you want them to be right in the middle.
Yeah, he wants them to be like a pick 12 to 15 so they don't have a chance at Caleb Williams.
He's only played
If
what
I'm
1.5 games.
if I'm the PA announcer at Lambeau on opening day when Jordan Love takes the field, I would play Van Halen. Love comes walking in.
Heck
So
yeah.
essentially, this is his rookie year playing.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's rookie year playing a full season. He's not going to be good. You want him to be competent, but he's going to have his rookie mistakes. We've seen that with Justin Fields. The Nagy era, no, I don't count that. O-line was horrible. That Cleveland game when he got his first start, what was there, like 16 sacks?
You
It
don't
was
count his rookie
ridiculous.
year? That was his best season.
No. God, no.
I mean,
But
he
came in
actually threw the ball like it looked like he had potential, and then after last season, I mean,
Well, you got to think of the wide receivers. We are bare bones. We got rid of all our players. Darnell Mooney's a 2 on Kansas City. He's a 2 here. Chase Claypool in the middle of the season doesn't know the playbook. We got Dante Pettis, was more productive. And I think
he's better than Claypool.
Yeah, he's
I
better
like
than Claypool.
I like
he
Pettis.
can punt return. Bayless
Nay.
Jones is dropping muffin punts. Equanimeous can't even catch a ball right in his hands. You know, that Miami Dolphins game, which pissed me off because that was a flag. That was a pass interference when they pulled Claypool down.
Oh, I don't know, man. We can't start blaming referees on this
Yeah,
show, man.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys
I'm not allowed
won
to do it
three.
when we talk Lions. You guys aren't allowed to talk about it as Bears.
Yeah,
No.
three
Look,
wins.
Yeah, 3 wins. We were horrible. We get that. I hate the Packers more than I hate the Lions. I do
Good.
like Goff.
Wow.
I think Goff is a great quarterback. I like Cousins.
It's my quarterback.
Justin Fields, I'm like 80-20 if he's going to work. If he has like a Mitchell Trubisky year, 3,200 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, that's a good season for Justin. That's a great. You add in 700-800 yards rushing, 4,000 total, he's good.
Yeah, the
But he's
last
got
time
to
that you guys went to the playoffs, Mitch
And I want to
Trubisky
be
was your quarterback.
realistic. You have to say that and be regardless of the record because there's still question marks on both sides of the ball.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
Those
think
are realistic numbers. I like it.
I think that you can make an argument that Mitch Trubisky is a better quarterback and has been a better quarterback than Justin Fields.
Yes, I agree.
I'm up against
I
your
like
Russ.
Mitch.
Can
I was a
sign
Mitch
off?
fan.
Okay, you want to
Uh,
sign off? Are you out, Mike? I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
let's let
I'll
the
let you
Bears
finish
fans
your
finish it.
I'll let you finish your take here in a second. But
Let
go
him-
ahead and sign
okay.
off, Mike. Go ahead and sign
Oh,
off,
it's
Mike.
the NFC North Open Mic every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, broadcasting live into Facebook. Join us for some trash talk in the NFC North. Bring your thick skin, leave your feelings at the door. NFC North Open Mic, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday nights. God bless you.
Excellent. That was Main Event Mike, man. He's our illustrious host for our Monday night trash talk. And that's where it does get a little bit more heated on there. But sometimes it's a really good football conversation on Mondays too. But we invite all 4 fan bases to come through here. And let me give you that little rundown right here. We obviously right here, we are in the Smoking Jeremy B's biting kneecaps We're here in Bill the Packer fans, Mike the Bear fan, Detroit Lions villain squad, the Detroit Lions news, and representing the we don't have anybody representing the Vikings, but we do have this clever little picture right here, and you can join the show as a Viking fan too. So there's
still in
that.
witless protection.
They're still in witness protection. We need a Viking fan.
Witless protection. They hired Larry the Cable Guy. They didn't hire the FBI.
It's witness protection. I mean, I don't know if they did it. They're on trial for that last year. I think it was fool's gold last year more than anything else. You're winning all them 1-score games, and then you lost all your defense. You can't expect to be better. You're going to be 0-6 Vikings in the division this year. You're going to get whooped on by the Bears. You're going to get whooped on.
In the North that got worse.
Yeah, I think Packers kind of stayed where they are and just have the question mark at quarterback. The Bears got better, the Lions got better, and the Vikings depreciated. Does anybody disagree with that statement?
No. Go ahead, say that again.
The Packers kind of stayed where they were. Their only question mark is quarterback.
Right.
They stayed right where they were last year. Nothing changed.
Well, except the most important position on the field.
Yeah, I understand. It's a question mark. And I said
Right.
That's a question mark. So
Right.
they're pretty much on that same level. And then you got the Bears improved. The Lions have improved. And I'm not saying one improved better than the other because the one was a 3-win team and the one was a 9-win team. So that's apples to oranges. They both
Right.
improved. But the Vikings depreciated, losing 4 Pro Bowlers off their roster.
Yeah, I love their justification. Like it's just ain't no thing. Oh no, we just replace the next guy's gonna come up and he's the guy. It's like that doesn't work like that. 'Cause who's gonna replace the depth guy that just came up into that spot as your depth? So you have to look at it from 1, 2, 3 levels, right? So the Bears are building from being the worst team in football to where I honestly believe that you could be in the middle somewhere. I think they could win 7, 8 games. If Justin Fields is really good, maybe 9, 10 games. If he's really good and possibly compete, it's kind of like where I thought the Lions were last year. Like I thought they were good enough to, if a bunch of stuff went right, that they could have made it. They almost made it. I think the Bears could be that this year. Yeah. But as far as the Vikings, you can't go backwards in this league. And none of the guys that you brought in have any kind of continuity, and you're expecting Brian Flores to do too much. I don't want you to sell that guy down
with a trade.
Yeah,
Ed Rushing wants a trade.
He should. I don't want to be. I don't want to be on a ship when it's going down. They all know. All the players know that they ain't going to be doing anything. But what'd you say?
Mayday, we're going down,
they're down. Yeah. not good. But
yes, sir.
But I love that Sarah. I think Sarah's not a Lions fan. She's a Vikings fan, isn't she?
Yeah.
And she is, and I appreciate her for coming on here and sticking up for her team,
Yeah. Here's the thing. I said last year at the end of the season that before the playoffs started that the Vikings would get bounced first round by the Giants. And the reason why is just like the 2020 Pittsburgh Steelers, 11 1-score wins. That does not bode well going into the playoffs.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen this season.
I disagree with that statement. I am a pessimistic Vikings and okay. And that's fine. And Lion fans have been there too. Like we haven't had very many seasons to where you're actually going into as a Lion fan and going, oh yeah, we're going to be so good. So it's definitely weird to look at our team and say, am I being a homer? Am I being a homer? Am I being a homer? I don't know.
We have to be a homer.
You have your homer based, but then on this show, I have to bring it to a realistic spot, right? Because the other 3 fan bases, no matter what, usually, especially when all 4 of them are representative, no matter what fan base you're in, every time you speak, 75% of this show thinks you're full of crap. No matter what, the numbers are that. That's just what it is, right? I'm a Lion fan. I put out a Lion opinion. Well, every Bear fan and Viking fan and Packer fan think that everything I just said was crap. And that's just the way it works. And that's why it's such a beautiful thing on this show. Oh, gosh.
No. And she's missing my point here. I'm not saying you're going to fall all the way to the bottom. I'm saying you guys are going to fall back. You won't be at the top. That's all I'm saying.
That's not what I'm saying, Sarah. I'm saying that you did overachieve and you will fall all the way down to the bottom. You will be at the bottom of this division as worst or first to worst this year because you didn't do enough. The Bears did way more than you. I think they definitely did enough to catch you and pass you, and so did the Packers. The Packers weren't that bad. They can just run the football and beat you. You can't stop the run. That's the thing. You can't stop the run. And there's two of the teams that are in the division that are really, really good at running the ball. And then you got Justin Fields, who runs as a quarterback for the third team that is always going to be running the ball. But I always think that's a cheat code when you got a quarterback that's going to provide 1,000 of those. So that may be a little bit right there. But you're going to be able to run on the Vikings. What are you going to do? You're going to stop them with half a sack Davenport? I mean, your savior? Oh, we got rid of Darius Smith. We're good. No.
You got rid of Eric
I don't know.
Kendrick.
You got questions.
No, you're not good.
So Jeremy can be nice to you on that and say he didn't say you're going to fall. I say you're going to fall all the way. And if you don't like it, come on Monday night and bring it. Bring that argument to me. Make it make sense to me. Help me out. Woody says JJ gets doubled. Vikings will be in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, but they got Jordan Addison, so he's going to be a bright spot on that offense.
Unproven. But he's first-round talent.
But what Woody's saying is he will get doubled, and part of the reason he's going to get doubled is because nobody's sticking 8 in a box to stop Alexander Madison. Or Dwayne McBride or whoever else they got is their hodgepodge running back room back there. Because Alexander Madison is one of the most overrated second running backs because every time I had him on my fantasy team, he didn't do anything when Dalvin Cook went out. Okay. Anyway, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox there. Mr. West says, my thing is that the Vikings will need to be better defensively to maintain that any place in contention. Well, that's hard to be worse.
They're in cap hell that they let go all their players. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Get the XFL guys to come and play for you guys?
Well, that's what you got to do. When you do
that's what Steve Van Ness was touting. We got Alex McGold, the USFL MVP and 2-time champion quarterback.
But that how that don't fly out here, does it, Jeremy?
No, that's why we started laughing.
We don't let. I mean, I'm as much as I didn't even let you have any of that Antoine Green stuff, dude. I don't. No,
all I did was talk about his speed. I'm not touting him as anything other than speed.
But we do stay consistent with that. Just like, you guys had some late round picks too that you liked. The Bears have. Everybody has late round picks that are going to be the guy, but. We don't let that nonsense fly on here.
It's not funny. Don't laugh.
Sarah, come over to Packerland. We accept you with open arms. Just remember, once you go Pack, we don't want you back.
Or is that once you get packed? I don't know.
Oh, something like that. Bay said the Vikings will regress. 11 one-score game. Yeah, it's not a sustainable stat. I agree with that. That's a great take. That's a great take.
6. We'll win more than 6.
I have your floor as 5 as showing improvement. I'm just going to say what I've said, but I've said the ceiling was 9 the whole time. Somewhere between 5 and 9 you'll get.
Yeah, I mean,
our back. We have a very favorable schedule.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys can get your second and third year guys to level, and the tides leveling up all them ships at the same time, you got a lot of guys getting better at the same time. It's possible, but the 6-win thing is also possible, because I mean, if you're assuming that Justin Fields is going to be better, that's fine. I mean, you're entitled to that opinion, but he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't proven that he can throw a ball in the NFL yet, and right now, he's looking more like, who's that guy? He's looking more like Jamarcus Russell than he is like any type of good quarterback yet. So he's just got a lot to prove.
I would take the 6 wins if he shows as a proven quarterback. He can throw.
And
and that's improvement. Like, as a Bear fan, you go from 3 to 6 wins. I mean, you've improved. You're not happy with that, though. You want them to go to the playoffs, because that's what fans do. That's what we want.
Let's go to the playoffs. We're in the same situations last season.
I want a shot at the strap.
We didn't make the playoffs.
Give me that shot.
Well,
give me that shot.
Once you go Bear, you won't be able to bear it.
Bear down, right?
Last time I heard that, last time I heard bear down, I was bear hunting.
Who's going bear hunting? Oh man,
Bears and Packers don't get great free agents because they don't want to play in the cold.
Oh
man, I don't know. For a while there, the Packers were getting every free agent. Don't say that, because they were constantly getting to the playoffs. What they got tired of was constantly losing in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they've never been a big. They never go big in free agency. Very seldom do the Packers. That's never been their MO to go and spend big in free agency. But I'm up against it again, man. I know I just sent Woody the link, man, but it's 12:30. I gotta get my son to his ABA autism. I want to put a little autism awareness out there right now before I leave right here.
Great thing.
WTHisautism.com. My son is a 4-year-old autistic boy, and I love him to pieces. And autism isn't a disease. It is just something that needs to be understood. And if you want to understand it, WTHisautism.com is a great place to go with that. So I want to go around the horn right here and have you say goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye to Bear Down Mike right there. He doesn't have the show, but Jeremy, go ahead and plug your shit. And we're going to sign off.
Well, if you want to see my writings about the NFL and the Detroit Lions, check out the SouthFloridaTribune.com. There's a little red square with 3 little white lines. Go to the Motor City Tribune heading, and you will see my writings underneath my name listed there. Then you can also find me on Kneecap Biting with the Detroit Lions, my show, which is on Wednesdays and Fridays during the off season. Then it's probably almost every day during the season. Last but not least, you can find me here with Russell whenever I can get on. And you can also find me on the South Florida Tribune YouTube channel, where we talk about all sports, not just football.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeremy B. My name is Russell Wayne. We broadcast live into the Detroit Lions news, Detroit Lions villain squad, Mike the Bear fan, Bill the Packer fan. And, we're on the Detroit Lions villain squad. Please go give us a like and a follow if you're in for some Detroit Lions content. Our podcast is actually going to be starting August the 17th, where the Main Event podcast is going to cover the entire season again and take you through all 17 weeks. Main Event Mike and myself on the Detroit Lions villain squad. Please give us a follow. Please give us a subscribe. From Russell Wayne and everybody that is out there, thank you so much for in the comments that you're staying engaged, staying into your football team. July 20th, 2023, and we got football fans in here. We appreciate you. God bless each and every one of you. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. One Pride.